Hi, my name's Garrett Strapp, and I'm the owner of OrMobility Physical Therapy and Performance. Today, I have Rachel Galligan here with us, and she's going to talk about successful strategies for weight loss management. Now, Rachel, I know you've already had a lot of clients that have been very successful in their weight management, but let's break it down further. How can nurse coaching assist a client in successful weight loss and maintenance?
Garrett, when I work with clients who are struggling with their weight, I don't just say eat healthier or exercise more. I help them explore why those changes might feel difficult. Is it stress? How are they sleeping? Are they eating emotionally? Are they carrying shame or self-judgment from past experiences? I'll give you an example. So I'm working with a client who had recently gained a significant amount of weight in the last 6 months. She was getting really frustrated because what she had tried to do that she'd heard would always work wasn't working. So she was doing new diets, new eating mannerisms. She was restricting her eating window. She was changing the foods that she was eating. She wasn't sure if it was new medications or if she had new food intolerances or if this was all hormonal and it was going to be her new reality. We began our process of diving in, of creating that full picture of her. She began to understand and realize the reasons why she had gained weight. And when we explored her story more in depth, she found that the interventions that were going to help her were things that she was already doing previously to this past 6 months, right? They weren't hard or new or stressful. They were things that she was already really good at doing. So when she started reinstituting those habits back into her routine, she started seeing immediate results. I also bring a strong clinical understanding to my weight management practice. So if someone has diabetes, PCOS, or is on medications that affect their weight, I can help them navigate that in a safe and informed way. We'll talk about why things work the way they do within their disease process or with that medication. But I don't just tell people what to do. As a nurse coach, I partner with my clients. I ask those powerful questions, we set goals together, and then I support them in building those habits that actually fit into their life. So, my nursing background gives me both the science and then I bring the heart to meet people where they are and walk with them towards lasting changes.
Amazing. Now, many people with obesity have already tried numerous diets. What do you believe is often missing from those approaches that nurse coaching can provide?
Sure. That's such an important point. And most of my clients come to me after they've tried everything. They've done keto, they've done intermittent fasting, they've used weight loss apps, maybe they're on medications, you name it. And what's often missing in those approaches is personalization and the support for the deeper layers of change. So, diets usually focus on willpower and restriction, and they rarely address things like stress, emotional eating, perception of self worth, or someone's relationship with food and their body. The diet verbiage might bring it up, and you may see something like stress can hinder your progress. So, you make sure you take the time to de stress. But there's little follow through. There's no direction on how to do that. And clients really feel that. They get stuck. Nurse coaching brings in that deeper, more compassionate layer. We're not just focused on losing weight. The client and I, we're focused on why certain habits exist in the first place and then how to shift those habits sustainably. So instead of just handing someone a meal plan, I walk with them as they build a healthier, more sustainable lifestyle, one that actually feels good and supports their whole well being.
Incredible, incredible. How do you incorporate holistic elements like sleep, stress management, and emotional well-being into your work with clients managing weight?
Honestly, they're huge pieces of the puzzle. If someone's not sleeping or they're incredibly stressed, it's almost impossible for them to make healthy choices consistently. And we know that from a scientific standpoint, right? Everything changes when you're sleep deprived. Your hormones, your energy, cravings, they all get thrown off. So the first step is recognizing that these elements do impact body weight. Changing your body weight doesn't happen in a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum, right? It's all intertwined. So I help clients look at the bigger picture. Are they running on empty? Are they using foods to cope with emotions? Are they feeling stuck in guilt or burnout? We start with small, doable shifts that really fit into their life. Maybe it's a bedtime routine or a stress reducing practice. So I had, for example, I had one client who continually struggled with excessive snacking in the evening and try as hard as she could, she just couldn't stop herself. She reported feeling like she was being hijacked. And it wasn't until we looked at her morning stressors and built a new routine that really worked for her that she saw that immediate change in her tendency to overeat after dinner. And this was within days. So when we care for that whole person, weight becomes just one part of a bigger, healthier transformation.
Wow. How do you support clients who feel overwhelmed or discouraged in their weight loss journey?
That feeling of overwhelm is so common, especially for people who've tried to lose weight over and over again without lasting results. So, when I have a client who's feeling discouraged, the first thing that I do is create a space where they feel truly heard and not judged. We really slow things down and shift the focus away from perfection and quick fixes. I aim to guide the client from a place of never winning and things feeling really hard or impossible to a place where there's just like a little glimmer of hope. I want to get them that first win. Then we start building confidence through small, achievable steps. Sometimes that first win isn't even about food at all. It might be about setting boundaries or a plan to drink more water or nailing down a sleep hygiene routine. And this is where the process becomes so amazing to watch. I get to see those clients building themselves up. They've seen that first glimmer of hope through that first win, and they reach out and they try it, and then they feel it, and it grows and grows. And then they're asking, what's next for me? What can I do now? They feel empowered and ready to take that next step. They're no longer overwhelmed or discouraged. They're ready with an action plan. And honestly, they've got some oomph in their tank to proceed.
Awesome, awesome. And what kind of outcomes have you seen in clients who engage in nurse coaching for weight issues?
Sure. Great outcomes, right? The outcomes go way beyond the number that's on the scale. Yes, many clients do lose weight, but more importantly, they gain a sense of control and confidence and clarity about their health. I've seen clients go from feeling stuck and defeated to actually enjoying the process of taking care of themselves. And they certainly never thought that that was going to be the outcome, right? For example, I've worked with clients who went from emotional eating every night to learning how to pause and check in with their feelings instead. Others improved their sleep, they reduced medications with their doctor's support, or maybe they started exercising again, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. The world kind of becomes their oyster, right? I watch them bloom right in front of me and they step into themselves again. It's just that. The most powerful outcome is when a client says, I finally feel like myself again. That sense of agency and self trust and whole person wellness, that's the true transformation that nurse coaching supports.
Amazing. What advice would you give someone who's feeling stuck, hopeless, or skeptical about weight loss and lasting change?
First, I'd say you're not alone and you're not broken. Feeling stuck doesn't mean that you failed. It usually just means that you've been trying to make changes in ways that don't actually support you as a whole person. It doesn't stick because it's not right for you. So don't quit yet. It's time to try something really different. Let's pause the pressure and get curious instead of critical. What's that one small thing that you can do to take care of your body today instead of punishing it? That shift in mindset from I have to fix myself to I'm worthy of feeling good right now is where everything starts to change. And honestly, if you're skeptical, that's okay too. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need a starting point. And sometimes a partner, like a nurse coach, to walk with you as you learn what works for you. Change is absolutely possible when it's rooted in compassion and curiosity and not shame.
Amazing. So, Rachel, if someone did want to start their weight loss journey in management, how would they get a hold of you?
You can call our clinic number, 541-845-3311, and you can talk to one of us directly, and we'd be happy to spend some time getting to know you better. Or if that's not quite as comfortable, you can log on to our website, which is ormobility.com, and navigate to the nurse coaching tab. And from there, you can submit an online form, give us some of your details, and then we'll still reach out to you to learn more about your story, and then we can proceed from there.